Ot bala mo kiling ko ni.
Good day, Kavibal, and welcome to our Teachers' Day webinar series. For the discussion today, the topic will be on the teacher as the major stakeholder of education. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. Make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions on the comment box allotted during the session and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, Kavibal. And now, to proceed with our webinar this afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker today. Our speaker today is the school principal 4 of Porac National High School, DepEd Pampanga. She is the 2018 Outstanding School Principal of Region 3, a certified NAEP facilitator, a part-time teacher in the graduate school program and College of Education in a private school. She is also a CESWE passer. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Miss Rosaline M. Tuble.
Okay. Okay. Hello po. Good afternoon. Hello po. Is the presentation available na po?
Yes po.
Okay. Yes po. Good afternoon. So, um, it's been a very good opportunity to everyone to have time with you po. So, my respect to everyone, to the Vibal family, and to everyone who are sharing their time this afternoon. Amidst the challenges that we are experiencing po today caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, I hope we remain grateful to the many people that the Lord is giving us today and throughout the days of our lives, because these people and the opportunities that are given to us are manifestations of how great the love and the joy that we get from the Lord. So once again, good afternoon po. This is truly a privilege and a grace from the Lord sharing this session with everyone. when I was asked po to share a session with Vival family, uh, having this session on the teacher as the major stakeholder of education, just like anyone else siguro po, amidst this time, I was excited, of course, but there is a certain feeling of hesitation because I am still learning the technology, using the technology in conducting trainings, and of course this kind of webinar. But again, I consider it to be a grace from the Lord, because I can never know if I can, and how can I be of great service to others if I will not be taking the opportunity in sharing this session. So the task is to share with you the journey of the teacher as a major stakeholder of education. And we are all teachers, okay? Though I am a school principal today, I've been a classroom teacher for 14 years, and I'm still connected to the classroom as a teacher in the graduate school, of course, and the College of Education. So maybe the question is, the teacher is the major stakeholder of education. Okay, sa dami po ng stakeholders sa education, is really the teacher the major stakeholder of education. So when I try to discern on the topic assigned to me, of course, I know very for a very fact that all of you as teachers know that if we talk of the duties and responsibilities of the teacher, we can always look at the position descriptive form, which we of course sign after reading during any promotion from teacher one, two, three, head teacher, master teacher. We always look at the list of duties and responsibilities. So looking at that, maybe it would be easier to really claim that the teacher is really a major stakeholder of education. We can also look at the PDS, which we usually accomplish every year, di po ba? Nakasulat dyan kung ano yung mga trainings, ano na yung nagawa natin sa professional development natin, which will really contribute us to becoming a better teacher as we go through the process. Of course, we also have the RPMS, PPST, which highlights the duties and responsibilities in terms of the key result areas and objectives, the indicators, the 7 domains. And of course, we're also backed up with a code of ethics and other legal bases. So if we talk of the teacher as a major stakeholder of education and basing it on the legal basis and other documents, it will be very easy to say and claim that really the teacher is a major stakeholder of education. But this afternoon, I would like to share with you not only the legal mandates of being a teacher, not only the legal mandates of being a major stakeholder of education, because I would like to believe that being a major stakeholder of education is not just solely dependent on the legal basis. You know, for a fact that as teachers, we just do not work because of the mandate. As we go through the session, I hope we'll get to embrace both the legal mandates and the very reason why we are teachers. And I think the touch of the heart and the touch of the moral obligation will be realized after the session. So I hope we can end the session realizing that, oo nga pala, to be a teacher, to be a major stakeholder of education is not solely dependent on the duties and responsibilities stipulated in any legal document or basis of being a teacher of DepEd, either in public or in private or in any learning institution. So, just like you pa, no, it is only in learning that we are able to teach others. Likewise, it is also in teaching that we get to learn more. You know, one of the very good values, maybe, or characteristics or traits of a genuine teacher is that we really have to master the humility and courage to always make ourselves empty for new learnings and trainings or in any circumstance. I know that you've been through a lot of webinars. Ang dami po nating webinars na na-conduct, sa maraming service providers. And I'm sure all sorts of topics, all sorts of informations were already uploaded to all of us. But one thing that makes us different as teachers is that we are always ready to empty our cup so that more learnings will be poured into us. So I would like to believe that we are like a budding flower attached to a stronger branch so that we can receive nutrients from the tree for us to bloom for others. Just like the budding flower, if you detach it from the source of nutrients, later on it will die, have a natural death. So similarly to us as teachers, we continuously improve ourselves because we know that there are a lot of learners and a lot of other stakeholders in education who can be benefiting from our sharing, from our insights, from our own personal growth. Sabi nga natin, mali pa ang aking pagkasulat, a teacher is forever a learning learner. Okay? Patawarin po sa grammar. A teacher is forever a learning learner. When you claim that you are a teacher, you will be forever a learner. Because if not, then I find the reason why we should stay in the education. Because only brave souls, only willing hearts, only willing souls to learn should be in the education. That may be a tough statement, but it's a reality that we must embrace. Probably you can ask for yourselves today, am I really a brave soul? Am I really a willing soul? Do I really have a willing heart, a genuine heart to teach? Well, the fact that you are still in the education system, the fact that you still want to teach, the fact that despite the many challenges that you are facing today, you remain to be in the education. Therefore, we are all learning learners forever. So I hope we learn to appreciate that po. So for the activity, of course, let's give ourselves an opportunity to do some sort of reflection. The title is Name That Role. So, ano lang po yung gagawin natin? We give at least one role that you play in the education system. Siguro mangingiti po kayo. Si Ma'am Toble naman, ang daming roles, isa lang. So, given there are many roles that you know, can you think of one role that you really is playing or that probably is most significant to you that you play in the education system? In 5 seconds, in 10 seconds, please do reflect on that po. 10, 9, bilis ko magbilang, no? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I'm sure madami po kayong naisip, pero sa puso nyo po, sa isip nyo, ikip nyo lang, ano ba yung isang role that very significant po sa inyo? So sa dami, these are possible answers and maybe a lot more. Okay? So as teachers, we do play a lot of roles. Diba? We do, of course, we facilitate learning. That's first and foremost. We teach, of course. We guide our students and even other stakeholders in the field. We do lecturing, we provide information, hindi lang po sa bata, hindi lang sa community, minsan sa mga magulang, sa lahat po na pumupunta sa ating eskwelahan na nangangailangan ng information, we do that. We assist. Assistant din po tayo. Pwedeng assistant ni head teacher, assistant ni fellow teacher, assistant ni school head, assistant ni bata, assistant ni parent. Okay? Motivator. We do a lot of motivation to a lot of people. If there is one thing that really makes us influential is that when we speak, when we stand before a crowd, I'm sure if not all the people in the crowd would stop and listen, I am very sure one thing, one person, a number of people will stop and listen to us. That's how influential we are. And so we do a lot of motivation. We do plans. Like today in the new normal, though we did not expect this and we do not want to experience this, but it is really happening. So planning matters a lot. And in the delivery of the teaching learning process, we still have to do a lot of planning. Either you are part of the school improvement planning team, you are part of the basic education learning continuity plan, you are part of the continuous improvement project, and a lot of projects and programs in the school. Definitely we do planning. We monitor the progress of our learners, we monitor the progress of of the programs that are assigned to us. We do provide technical support. So to a lot of stakeholders, again to parents, students, the school personnel in general. We do assessment, which is very crucial today. I'm sure you've been asking one another, how are we going to do evaluation during this pandemic? How are we going to evaluate learners' progress during these challenging times that we do not usually see our students face to face? We do not really see them face to face. How are we going to assess their performance with the activities or with the formative and summative tests that we provide to them? Of course, we are also resource developer. Okay, I'm sure you're very familiar with the modules, with the self-learning modules, with the themes, with the instructional materials that you've been doing for decades or for a number of years. And then one of which also is a language role model, not only in terms of technicality, not only in terms of the technical aspects. When we say language role model, we just do not teach them the efficiency, the proficiency of using English language or the Filipino language or the mother tongue, but more so the effectiveness of using the technical aspect. We teach them how are they going to reach and connect people using the language. So, ang dami po, ano, and of course, we do also make sure we ensure that we create a friendly social environment, safe, healthy learning environment. Maybe the question is, how are we going to do that during this pandemic? Nawala na po ba yon? Hindi na ba siya kasama sa ating mga roles and functions? So, these are just some of the innumerable tasks or roles that are expected of a teacher. Kaya nga minsan sasabihin nila, superheroes ba ang mga teachers? Superman ba sila? Superwomen? Are they extraordinary? Well, of course, the answer is no. We're not extraordinary people. Um, sa akin lagi ko pong kino-connect yan kay Mother Teresa na lagi, di po ba, sabi niya is, we can never do great things in this world. Kahit po pagawa sa ating lahat, ang lahat ng nabanggit po nating roles, so nakikita nyo na roles sa screen na yan, we can never claim that we are great. But doing this with the great love, well, that makes the difference. We can only be of service to others. We can only say that we truly serve if we do things, little things, small things with great love. And I think if that is the definition of being great, then we can claim that you are great because though small this may be, if we do it wholeheartedly and with utmost passion and commitment, with an end goal that we are improving the learners, then, well, of course, we can claim that we're doing great. And I'm sure the Lord is so happy that we're doing these things with so much love. Po, now, for the analysis, I'm sure tatanong nyo, ang dami namang roles. Meron pa ngang hindi nabanggit si resource speaker. Ang dami naman. Pwede, kung isusulat mo, baka hindi ka matapos sa isang oras. Yun po siguro yung sagot ng ibang kasama po natin dito. Ano. Pero while doing the activity, when I ask you to at least think of one significant role that you play amidst the many innumerable, sabi ko nga, na task or roles of a teacher, ano po yung nararamdaman natin kaya? Ano ba yung, alin ba dito ang una ko isusulat? Or alin ba dito yung sa akin is significant? Di po ba? So what do you feel while you're recalling the different roles of a teacher in the education system? Parang ang dami naman ng rules, isa lang talaga or dapat dalawa? Tie ba 'to? Rank 1.5 ba 'tong, naiisip kong ito? And what is that one significant realization that you have after embracing the different roles of a teacher in the education system? Ano bang nararamdaman natin? Ako as while just reading the roles on the screen, I get to of course truly embrace na madami talaga at maraming hindi pa nasabi na alam po nating lahat na ginagawa natin sa kasalukuyan. So in 5 seconds, I think you can compose yourself and ano ba naramdaman ko nung nagsusulat ako or nag-iisip ako kung ano ba ang sasagot ko sa tanong ng activity. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ang bilis ko magbilang po. So, siguro marami tayo, hindi lang siguro, various emotions are felt. Okay, meron siguro sa atin, masaya lang na marami tayong ginagawa kasi positively, mas maganda yung maraming ginagawa kaysa sa walang ginagawa. Tama po ba? Every day when we wake up in the morning, we are given the opportunity to say, "Thank you, Lord, I have a lot of work to do." Rather than, "Lord, what will I do today? Do I really make sense in my life? Do I really make significant contributions to others kung wala akong ginagawa?" Pero syempre, meron sigurong nangingiti lang din. Nangingiti dahil nagmi-mix ang emotions na maraming ginagawa at napapagod. Some maybe are in, OMG, ang daming trabaho ni teacher, ang daming dapat gawin ni teacher. And siguro sa iba, dumarating din sa atin na nagkakasalubong ang kilay kasi nga parang nagpapatong-patong na yung trabaho, the overlapping duties and responsibilities coupled with we are not just a professional or a teacher, we are also a part of a family to take good care. We also have other responsibilities to do. So there will always come a time, I'm sure, as human beings, that magsasalubong po yung kilay natin. No? So that's one of the emotions that is normal to feel po. So another would be, baka may naiyak na sa sobrang pagod, hindi dahil galit, kundi pagod na siya. And the only way to express siguro the fatigue is to shed tears or the disappointments. Rather than talk, maybe shedding tears would be of help. Yung iba siguro hayaan mo na lang, lilipas din 'yan. And yung iba siguro talagang pawis na sa madaming hindi na alam kung anong gagawin. So I guess having these emotions, various emotions, different emotions, with the many tasks and trials that we have to face, especially today in the new normal of education, uh, I would like to believe that this remains to be positive. This is simply telling us that we remain to be human, and humans have emotions. Maybe what we can learn from this is we learn to have anger management system, di po ba? Or emotions management system. Natututo po tayong paano i-manage ang ating mga ginagawa, ang ating mga nararamdaman, such that at the end of the day, we go back to the very happy spirit of being a teacher. Because again and again, embracing that we are a major stakeholder in education is really a blessing. Coupled, of course, with it are the duties, responsibilities to truly we have to perform with utmost passion and commitment po. Huh? Now, let's look at the legal basis. Of course, di naman mawawala yan, pero let's anchor on this. Po. Sabi nga, if a dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation, di po ba? Pag teacher tayo, memorize natin yan. Hindi dahil sinabi ni school hit. Hindi dahil kailangan, kundi kasi ramdam po natin siya. Pag ramdam mo yung version ng DepEd, yun pala ang pinapangarap natin sa ating mga estudyante. Yun pala ang gusto nating maging, ganun pala ang maging estudyante natin. This is the dream, the vision of DepEd. And of course, whether you're indebted or not, that remains to be a vision. Meron bang learning institution na hindi nangangarap na maging ganong klaseng learners ang learners nila? Of course, lahat po tayo. We really dream of this kind of learners. And so, that is stipulated in DepEd Order 36 Series 2013. Po ba? Sa DepEd Vision, Mission, and Core Values. Yun pala yung vision niya. Nasaan ako doon as a teacher? Nasaan ako doon in order to deliver the quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education? Nasaan ba ako doon? Magtuturo lang ba ako sa oras na kailangan? Papasok lang ba ako sa oras na kailangan? Okay, pag hindi ko na oras, hindi na ako pupunta. Kung hindi nila nakuha, okay lang. Hindi po ba hindi gano'n ang ginagawa natin? Hindi po yon ang ganong klaseng teacher na kailangan ng ating mga guro, ng ating mga estudyante rather. And therefore, if that is our vision, as educator, we can embrace the fact that teachers really play a very crucial role in nation building. Truly, very gasgas na po ang statement na yan, but it's true. It remains to be a fact. It remains to be true, no matter how difficult it may seem to be for others to realize, but that remains to be true. And as teachers, as educators, as facilitators of learning, ang saya lang pong maramdaman that one day, the students that you've been with for 4 years, for 6 years, for 7 years, for 3 years, regardless of the number of years that you've been with students, eventually when they realize their own self-fulfillment, you are there, maybe at the back, smiling, and thanking the Lord that you've been part of these learners who are now better, who are now in their better version. So, napakasaya lang pong maintindihan at ma-embrace na tayo pala ang teachers ang magdadala nun. And so, nasan ako? Siguro hindi na natin itatanong kung nasan tayo sa vision ng DepEd kasi alam po natin, tayo po yung magde-deliver ng teaching learning process. Not just teaching learning process, an effective and efficient teaching learning process such that the vision of DepEd will be realized. In fact, a case in point, of course, I know marami po kayong alam na researches conducted proving the statement to be true. So an example would be this research of Blazer in 2016. According to him, the research confirmed that teachers have substantial impact on their students' academic performance and lifelong process. Okay po ba? Napakahalaga pala talaga. So it's proven, hindi lang natin siya basta kiniklaim because a lot of researches and studies were done to prove that statement. More so, recent investigations also have uncovered some characteristics of effective classroom environment, teachers' organizational skills, and interactions with students. So therefore, to have an effective teaching, teachers should be aware of the barriers and requirements which can be addressed through various ways. And sabi ko nga, if we believe that no child must be left behind, teachers as well must be given opportunities to grow professionally by equipping them both with competence and character. My dear fellow educators, my dear fellow teachers, let us go back to this last statement. Truly, we have to equip ourselves both with competence and character. Hindi lang po tayo nag-aaral para magkaroon ng MA degree or doctorate degree. Hindi lang po tayo nag-aaral for promotion. Lahat po yon hindi masama. Pero we also attend seminars and trainings so that we become also better in terms of character. Because a genuine teacher can deliver at most effective teaching learning process is equipped not only with competence, but a very good character. So lagi po nating bitbitin sa buhay po natin, sa puso natin, na ini-improve po natin ang ating sarili para mas maging mabuti po tayo sa ating mga mag-aaral. Katulad po nito, lahat ng sinasabi ko, pwedeng alam nyo na po. Nabasa nyo na, narinig nyo na sa maraming webinars. Pero ako, ang dasal ko lang po, hindi lang sana, hindi lang po yung theories na nakasulat sa aking presentation ang maiwan po sa inyo. Sana maramdaman niyo po kung gaano kahalaga. Alam niyo naman po yun, masemento sa puso natin, sa pagkatao po natin, yung ma-improve po yung character. Lahat naman po tayo have all the reasons in order to become the better version of who we are po. And so, very gasgas na rin po ito. Sabi nga, it takes a whole village to raise a child. But during this national health emergency, we are strengthening partnership with the whole community. Ang dami na nga po siguro ngayong nare-receive na mga text messages, mga messages sa messenger. Ang iba nga po, pinopost pa sa social media with regards to bakit si parent ang mag-a-assist. Okay, di ba? Bakit hindi si teacher? Bakit hindi si teacher ang magturo? Okay? So, if there is one best operation time to strengthen our partnership with all other stakeholders in the community, then this is the best time. Because, as of course stipulated in DepEd Order 83, Series 2012, or yung revised guidelines on the school-based management framework and assessment, which actually adopted the principle of taking the whole village to raise a child, it supports the idea that really the school is being supported by numerous stakeholders. So dami naman pala, hindi lang naman pala si teacher. Of course, alam po natin yon. Okay? Hindi lang si teacher, kundi students, parents, admin, and a lot of people are supporting the education. So paano magiging major stakeholder si teacher sa panahon to? Okay po? Let me share again with you para masagot ko po yung tanong. Pasensya na po, I love Mother Teresa. So, mga principles, mga mantra niya. Naniniwala po ako that, of course, lahat tayo can say this. I can do things you cannot, you can do things I cannot, but together, we can do great things. Marami po sa atin na maraming kayang gawin. Meron din sa atin nakakaunti ang kayang gawin. But that does not make less them as a person and as a professional. And so with our limitations, with our imperfections as teachers, as educators, when we go together, when we work together as a team, will be able to accomplish great things. Because, again and again, all the stakeholders in education are in support of the teaching learning process so that the learners will get the quality of education that they truly deserve. So sana po sa atin, personally, individually, ang dami nating kayang gawin. Siguro ang magandang tanong na i-share ko ba lahat ng kaya kong gawin? Hindi ako masyadong magaling dito. Binibigyan ko ba ng pagkakataon ng sarili ko na i-develop 'to so that later on hindi lang ako ang nagpapatulong lagi, tutulong naman ako. Okay? So yung mga ganong klaseng realizations po, yung mga ganong klaseng prinsipyo sana, makakatulong po so that we become again the better version of who we are, which are very much needed in these times of challenges. Okay po? So, we also claim that the learner is the very reason why we share the responsibility and accountability. Hindi dahil sinabi na tayo ang major stakeholder, the teacher is the major stakeholder of the education, kakayanin niya mag-isa ang lahat ng obligasyon. Hindi. So we share the responsibility and accountability. Therefore, anchoring that concept based also on the school-based management framework, if we do these things, teachers become parents. And we know that. Di naman po nagbabago yon. Siguro ang tanong ngayon is, sa panahon po ng pandemic, pwede pa rin ba na i-claim that the teachers remain to be parents? So, yun po siguro yung magandang tanong sa sarili natin. Okay, sasakto. So, tama ba na i-claim na even during this pandemic, We remain to be parents? Of course, alam niyo po yung sagot. But the question is, how? So later on, we'll go through that concept po. And of course, parents are partners. If we claim that we practice sharing of responsibility and accountability, and the whole community a family. You know, my dear fellow educators, among all these stakeholders that are given in the presentation or are mentioned, how important is the teacher as a stakeholder in education? Ang dami naman pala, pero nasan si teacher doon? Kung mapapansin niyo po, the teacher connects meaningfully. Sino ba ang kausap ni teacher pag hindi pumapasok si bata? Si parent. So, sinong nagko-connect kay parent? Si teacher. Sinong pinapakisuyuan pag merong uh, activity or merong request ng community or ibang private organizations na partners ng school? Sino po ang lagi nating nakikita? Di po ba si teacher? Di po ba? So, therefore, pwedeng may school head. Ako po, school head ako for 9 years. Pero lagi ko pong sinasabi sa mga teachers, alam nyo, if you truly, well, of course, they love what they do. They love teaching, they love the learners. Ang totoong manifestation that I'm doing well as a leader is even in my absence, you do your part. And they do. That's one thing I am grateful for. Po. So, sa lahat ng school leaders, yun po yung batayan natin. Diba? Na thankful tayo na ang mga guro, kahit wala tayo, gagana po yung school. Kahit hindi pumasok si school head, pwedeng magpatuloy ang buhay ng bata basta may teacher. Pero pag wala si teacher, pwede rin naman magpatuloy ang buhay ng mga bata kasi pwede naman magturo si principal, pwede rin naman magturo ng ibang head teachers or department heads. Pero at the end of the day, the real facilitator of learning who can deliver the utmost effective and efficient teaching learning process is the teacher. Ganun po kayo kahalaga. Ganun po kahalaga ang teacher. And I think it's important to say that let's focus on the teacher. Okay, tignan natin ano ba yung meron sa kanila na dapat nating pasalamatan. Ilang beses na po ba tayong nasabihan ng thank you? I'm sure maraming beses na po. Ilang beses na tayong na-awardan ng mga kung ano-anong commendations for doing the job well, then thank you. Kasi yun lang po yung manifestation that really the focus is on the teacher. When you look at the smiles of the teachers during, ako po, since we are conducting trainings, di po ba, or meetings virtually, naluluha ako, sabi na, OA naman si Ma'am Tuble. But when I see, pag tapos na kami, okay, can you open your camera? And I want to see if you're still happy, di ba? And when you see those happy smiles and happy faces, despite the many, many things that are required of them, di po ba ang saya lang? You cannot, sabi ko nga, you cannot falsify real happiness and joy coming from those beautiful smiles. Let's focus on the teacher. Bigyan po natin sila ng panahon na ma-improve. Bigyan po natin sila ng panahon na mag-improve. Bigyan po natin sila ng panahon na ma-comment because they truly deserve to be a major stakeholder of education. Without them, parang coming from the point of view of a school head, well, of course, I could not imagine a school without these beautiful teachers, without these beautiful souls who are very much committed. Sana po nararamdaman nyo, my dear fellow teachers, kung gaano po kayo na-appreciate, kung gaano kayo kahalaga sa sistema ng edukasyon. Marahil marami po tayong challenges, trials, marami tayong differences, diba? Hindi po naman mawawala yon. The system itself is not perfect. It will never be. The leaders will not be perfect. They will never be perfect. The system will never be perfect. But amidst these differences, if we keep on nurturing each other, especially the teachers who are the frontliners of the education system today, I think will go a long way. So again, let's focus on the teacher. Even in the principal, okay, in principal, ito yung tanong. How can you turn a coward into a hero? A dullard into a genius? An emotional vacuum into a great lover? Ilan na po sa atin ang nakaranas na ilang beses mo nang, sige na, kaya mo yan. Okay, sumagot ka, tumayo ka, sumulat ka, mag-recite ka. Di ba ang dami na pong mga ganong klaseng estudyanteng naranasan or nakita nyo na po? Ilan na po kaya mga estudyante ang halos ayaw mo nang bigyan ng pasadong grade kasi hindi talaga siya makaabot sa standard. Ilan sa mga estudyante yung walang pakialam. Parang pagpasok siya, parang hindi naman siya nakikinig kasi meron siyang emotional vacuum. Lahat po siguro tayo ngayon at hindi man ngayon na present, nakaranas na po ng ganyan. Maraming klaseng estudyante na ganyan po. Pero kaya ba natin silang i-transform? Sabi nga, can you turn a coward into a hero? Or a dullard into a genius? Or a student or someone with emotional vacuum into a great lover? Di po ba? Kaya mo kayang bigyan, turuan, magmahal, mag-appreciate ng sarili niya ang bata na hindi mataas or hindi maganda ang self-worth niya? Well, of course, the mortal story of the Wizard of Oz is a very good example. Hindi man ito, I'm sure lahat tayo makaka-relate. Yeah, doon sa kwento, the Cowardly Lion was given a medal for courage. The scatterbrained scarecrow was given a diploma, and the Tin Man a ticking clock. Now, look at ourselves today. Tanungin po natin ang sarili natin. Alin tayo dyan? Ilan na sa atin ang nabigyan na po natin ng medal for courage ang isang batang takot na takot matuto? Ilan na sa atin ang nakapagpatuto ng batang magbasa? Marami na po. Ilan na sa atin ang halos hindi makapasa-pasa? But because of your commitment to help, natapos siya. Ay, salamat. After 10 years, hindi. Ilang pabalik-balik na po siyang nagda-drop kasi takot siya sa pag-aaral. Pero dumating ka, nakita ka niya, nakita mo yung bata, and you're given the opportunity to help, and eventually nag-graduate siya. Siguro po marami. Maraming hidden heroes sa education. Marami sa atin ang hindi naman nasusulat kung gaano po tayo naging inspiring sa mga estudyante natin. Kakaunti po ang mababasa mo sa mga magazines na i-interview sa TV, na feature sa TV magazine or sa balita doing all these simple things. Pero at the end of the day, hindi naman po natin talaga kailangan yon. Ngayon lang sa oras na to, kung nasagot nyo na po sa sarili nyo, uy ako, parang meron na akong batang magdadrop pero natuloy siyang mag-aral kasi nakausap ko siya. Ay ako, parang yung batang dating ayaw sumagot sumasagot na ngayon. Yun na po yung medal natin. Yun na po yung commendation natin. Mag-retirement po tayo sa eskwelahan na pinagtuturuan natin na hindi man po tayo nabigyan ng commendation. I guess today, realizing that you have done a lot of these examples, I think that would be enough for us to move on and to believe that we are truly created and destined to be teachers. Parang yun lang po sapat na. Kung maalala ka po, that's already a bonus. Kung mabibigyan ka ng commendation, bonus na lang po yun. Pero looking at the story of the Wizard of Oz, may nagawa ka na bang bata na maging matapang at humarap sa klase magsagot? Then, you will be compensated in many ways. The Lord will truly bless us pag ganun po tayo. Because, well, of course, the ever favorite, sabi nga, the quality of an education system can never exceed the quality of teachers. We can never imagine an education system without the teachers. Hindi po mangyayari na magiging performing ang isang school, the so-called school in terms of school performance and in terms of school performance indicators without quality teachers. Lagi nga po, di ba? If you have a very good OPCRF, rating, if you are an outstanding, if you have an outstanding rating for the OPCRF, then that is tantamount to saying that your teachers are also outstanding. Because, again and again, the frontliners of the whole education system are the teachers. Hindi naman po tayo yung nagtuturo kung ako yung school head. Hindi naman ako ang, pwede siguro ako mag-home visit pero hindi naman ako ang talagang mag-home visit palagi. Pwede siguro magbigay ako ng technical assistance pero I will not do that most often. So, sino ba talaga? So, it's the teacher. Kaya nga, siguro pag ito po talaga yung naramdaman natin, na hindi po tayo susuko sa dami ng haharapin natin or naharap po nating pagsubok ngayon sa education. But then of course, just would like to add, hindi dahil sinasabi natin that we are a major stakeholder in education, that is not something to be proud of, too much proud of. That is not something to brag at. That is not something to show off. It should be considered to be a grace from the Lord because we are given the opportunity to be of service to others. And that is stated, of course, in the DepEd mission and in all other mission statements of other learning institutions. Wala naman pong kakaiba dyan. Sabihin man nating DepEd mission yan, kahit ano pong learning institution, yan naman po talaga ang mission natin bilang guro. That we facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Diyan po nakaangkla sa katotohanan na tayo po, teachers, ang major stakeholder na education. Why? Because we do facilitate learning. Without us, sabi nga in the principle of teaching and learning, there are only two equally important individuals, the learner and the teacher. So in the absence of the teacher, effective teaching learning process will not happen. That's how important a teacher is in the education system. And ang masaya pa po dito, we just do not facilitate learning. We just do not give them modules today for English, Math, Science, and all other learning areas. More so, ang mas maganda na mission po natin is we constantly nurture every learner. What a beautiful statement po na we constantly nurture every learner. Yan, tayo lang po, teachers, kayo lang po, teachers, ang merong ganyang mission. Tignan niyo po yung students. Ano lang ang mission niya? Matuto siya in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. So, matututo lang siya kung child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Therefore, yung pagkakaroon po ng child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment, hindi naman po niya obligasyon. Obligasyon yun ng admin, obligasyon yun ng community, or kung sino man, obligasyon din ng teacher. So you see po, si students, mag-aaral siya sa ganong klaseng environment. Therefore, sino ang magpo-provide? Of course, doon sa mission ng administrators and staff, we'll just provide supporting environment. You see the difference? And the community will just share the responsibility. Pero si teacher po, siya po talaga ang magpa-facilitate ng learning and will constantly nurture every learner. Pag hindi very good ang environment, when I say hindi siya very good, hindi siya child-friendly, hindi gender-sensitive, hindi siya safe and motivating environment, poproblemahin pa po yan ni teacher. Malinis ba yung classroom? Safe ba siya? Lalo na ngayon, na although hindi tayo pumapasok ng face-to-face, wala bang risk? Pag ba dumaan si bata, pumasok sa classroom, wala bang nakausling pa ako, di ba? Sino po ba ang nakakakita nun? Di po ba si teacher din? Madalas. And basically, parang hindi siya mabigat. Ako, I don't want to see it as mabigat na obligasyon. It's a blessing to have that mission. Because at the end of the day, when you're able to do that, you will be producing very good learners and very good graduates later on. So we nurture every day. Kaya ngayon ang tanong, ma'am, paano namin nurture yung naka-online, virtual? Of course, sabi ko nga po, kahit na online, offline, may pandemic or wala, our mission remains the same. Our duties and responsibilities as a major stakeholder in education remains the same. Wala pong nagbago. Nagbago lang kung paano natin siya i-accomplish. But basically, we really have to keep in our hearts our very mission and our set of duties and responsibilities. And of course, we have come to embrace, of course, DepEd Order 42, Series 2017, or the national adoption of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. Di po ba? For 3 years na-embrace na po natin yan. Diyan nakasaad kung papaano tayo as teachers maging major stakeholder ng ating edukasyon. Po, in terms of content, knowledge and pedagogy, in terms of providing learning environment. So kanina, sabi niyo, we ensure gender safe, di ba? Mamaya titignan natin paano natin i-accomplish yan as a major stakeholder in education. Paano ipoprovide ang learning environment na safe pa rin kahit nakikita mo lang siya sa laptop or sa desktop or sa cellphone. Po. We are also tasked to appreciate diversity of learners. And when we say appreciate diversity of learners, we anchor, we align our teaching learning process, our strategies, ensuring that the diverse learners are part of the whole system. And of course, we are still part of the curriculum planning. We do assessment and reporting na very challenging. Yun, no? Yan ang pinag-uusapan pa. I think one time I was able to witness an interview to Yusek Sevilla. Ang tinanong siya kung paano daw ba magbibigay ng honor students sa panahon na to, sa school year na to. And I think to me lang sa akin lang po, maganda yung sinagot niya. Ang sinagot niya po is sana po sa panahon ng pandemic, higit sa honor, higit sa achievements, higit sa medals or awards na ibibigay sa bata for the performance, sana daw, sabi niya, sana ituro po natin yung values such as honesty, discipline, persistence, courage, and so on. Kasi nga, I'm sure nakita niyo na po yung module, di po ba, na merong answer key and all these things. Kaya sinasabi nila, aside from teaching or instructing the learners how to go through the module, we also integrate values. Turuan natin sila na maging tapat sa pagsagot ng kung ano man ang binibigay nating assessment, sa anumang klaseng assessment tools na binibigay natin, which is somewhat, to me, is something that I hope all of us, stakeholders in education, can look into. Tama nga naman po, no? Siguro sana wag na muna nating pag-awayan kung sino ba yung first honor, second honor. So anyway, legally and technically, I'm sure they're preparing. But the point here is that as teachers, we really have to do assessment. How and what assessment tools, I'm sure later on we will all be guided by our very own department and by the experts in the field. Okay? Another, of course, is sabi ko nga kanina, sino bang pinapadala pag merong greening project, kapag merong outreach program, may election, and all these things. Diba, we're also tasked, teachers, to do community linkages and professional engagement. Ako po, guilty po ako dyan. Okay? So, lagi ko pong sinasabi na kung meron akong maraming weaknesses, of course, isa dun po is I'm not good in linkages. Mahihain po ako sa personal. Hindi naman po halata. No? But at any rate, hindi po kasi sa akin, weakness ko siya. So, ginagawa ko po, patawarin ako ng mga teachers na nakakatrabaho ko and all other department heads. Nagtatap po ako ng mga teachers na are very good. Kasi very good talaga by nature ang mga teachers sa ganyang community linkages. Kasi pag sila yung nagsalita, like halimbawa sa community, diba, people will listen. And so, that's one thing that we really have to nurture within us. as teachers po. So, kasama po talaga sa mantra. Ako ayoko sabihing mandate lang eh. Kasi pag mandate, parang pag wala na sa listahan, hindi mo na siya gagawin. Ano? It's part of our mandate and a moral obligation to really improve in terms of community linkages and professional engagement. Kaya today, attending this, I'm sure marami na kayong narinig nyo na dati. Pero attending this is a sign that you have such a beautiful attitude towards giving yourself an opportunity to listen again. Malay nyo, ako, ang dasal ko lang po, kahit may maalala lang kayo, hindi man theory eh. May, may realize lang kayo na magandang reflection. Being a teacher, uh, accomplished na po ako. Because I know this sharing is not merely about, ang intention ko is not merely sharing theories. Daan lang po yung mga theories for us to have realizations and reflections later on. And eventually embrace the beauty of being a teacher po. And lastly, we have personal growth and professional development. Masaya lang po malaman na maraming teachers ngayon ang hindi sumusuko sa maraming challenges when it comes to personal growth and professional development. And a lot of our department and your learning institutions, I am sure, were not for those who are not part of public of DepEd, are being empowered, are being sent to a lot of trainings so that professionally they grow. Sa pananaw po ng isang school head na katulad ko, empowering teachers to be in their better version will eventually make the school system better. Because again and again, we share responsibility and accountability. And that is sharing leadership. Ngayon po, di ba, hindi naman uso na yung autocratic, hindi na po uso yung ganong leadership. So we do servant leadership, we do shared leadership as it is being highlighted in the school-based management framework and assessment. So napakasaya lang po na ang daming teachers na very much willing to learn. And of course, doing that later on, you will find your own place under the sun. Lagi ko lang po sinasabi sa mga teachers na when we do good, accomplishing a specific task for the school, ang intention po natin is to help. Kung magiging daan po yun para ma-promote ka, bonus lang po yun. Pero kung hindi, sana masaya ka pa rin na ginawa mo yon. Diba? Kasi promotion comes from the Lord. Although pinagtatrabahuhan po natin. Sabi ko, hindi naman pwedeng lahat maging principal. Hindi naman pwedeng lahat maging master teacher. Hindi naman pwedeng lahat maging head teacher. Batay po sa kasalukuyang promotional system natin. Pero later on, magbago na po yun pag na-introduce na ibang sistema ng promotion. Pero sa kasalukuyan, yun po yung sistema natin. Kaya masaya lang na kahit walang promotion for some, they remain to be very committed in doing their tasks as teachers. Yun po talaga yung totoong service. Because later on, they will be rewarded, if not for a promotion, but in many other ways. Opportunities to learn, opportunities to attend trainings, opportunities to be a speaker, to be like this and like that. Not necessarily just being promoted to from teacher 1 to teacher 3. Hindi lang po yun ang personal growth and professional development. So, the question is, how do I ensure that the learning part happens in distance learning? Ma'am, nasabi niyo na po, dami ng legal basis ng pagiging major stakeholder ng teacher. Pero dati pa po yun. At sabi niyo, hindi pa rin nagbabago. Of course, hindi pa rin po siya nagbabago. Ano? Question is, how do I ensure the learning part happens in distance learning? Sabi nga po ni Aristotle, sabi po nung kapitbahay ko, si Aristotle. Okay, nabasa ko lang po yan. Principle that teaching is based on the teacher guiding the learner reach their potential through the wisdom of others. Diyan po kahalaga si teacher. According to the principle of Aristotle, mahalaga si teacher kasi matututo lang daw ang learner through the wisdom of others. Although 384 to 322 BC pa po yan. Pero still, it remains to be a principle of Aristotle, who is an expert in his field. So, yun pala talaga naman. Sa bagay, napatunayan na po yan sa maraming pagkakataon. Di po ba, kahit tayo ngayon, di ba? Minsan, ang dami mo na rin namang nakuhang degrees. Ah, ang dami mo na rin namang nakuhang ganito. Pero sa ayaw at sa gusto po natin, may mga bagay na matututunan po natin sa ibang tao. Ay, example lang po, like today, um, hindi naman po tinuro sa doctorate class nung nag-aaral ako kung paano mag-Google Meet or mag-Zoom Meet kasi wala pa naman. No? Therefore, sa panahong to na kailangan, meron at merong tao na kakailanganin ko or magiging instrumento ni Lord para matuto ako. Yun kung willing akong matuto. Magkakaroon lang ng teaching if the person is willing to learn. And if the person is willing to learn and there is teaching, then teaching learning process will take place. So napakahalaga po maintindihan natin na kahit sa panahon ng pandemic, our learners are really expecting so much from us. Hindi man po natin nila tayo nakakita ng face-to-face, virtual, pero yun lang maramdaman nila na meron tayong sasabihin sa kanila, na makaka-inspire sa kanila. Yun lang tinuro mo paano sagutin ang isang module, ang isang activity. Yun lang tinuro mo na ganito mag-add sa ganitong technology. Ako po, I'll be very honest. I'm not good in technology. At my age, hindi pa naman po ako ganun magre-retire. Pero, parang sa dami ng ginagawa ko din, okay, parang wala rin po ako masyadong time for technology. Pero, when this pandemic took place in our lives, I don't have a choice, so I have to. So, yung pong humility to accept na kailangan matutunan. Kawawa lang po yung mga lagi kong pinagtatanungan, yung mga ICT coordinators dyan na lagi kong tinatawagan, Sir, paano ito? Nawawala ang aking file, nawawala ang audio ko, nawawala ang video. So, kanina lang po, bago tayo mag-live, salamat po kay ma'am na nag-assist po sa akin. First time ko po kasing gumamit ng Zoom. Okay? Lagi Google Meet. Tinuruan niya ako, tsinyaga niya ako. So that's teaching. Technology instruction po yon. Pero hindi ko siya tinitignan na technology instruction lang. That's a wisdom of someone who is well-versed in that thing. Sa akin, wisdom na po yun. Kasi na-transform niya sa akin yung technical aspects. Kasi kahit alam niya yun, kung wala siyang willing heart to transfer the knowledge or the technical skills, then it remains to be a technical skills. But since meron siyang willing heart, naturuan niya ako, then that's already the wisdom of the person. And let us try to look at those possibilities. Marami pong pwedeng mag-assist sa atin. Huwag po tayong matatakot. Sabi nga po natin, technology lang yan. Tao po tayo. So we have the wisdom from the Lord. We have the knowledge. We have a lot of people to help us and to assist us. Kailangan lang po natin an open heart, a willing heart, humility to ask for help if you need. So yun po yung kailangan ng ating mga estudyante. Ganun po tayo as teachers. Willing po tayong magbigay, magturo ng buong puso. Hindi dahil sinusweldohan lang tayo ng gobyerno. Sana po maalis sa atin yung magtuturo ka dahil may sweldo ka. Sana hindi lang po yun. Kung yun po ang kasalukuyang dahilan natin, pagdarasal ko po na darating ang panahon na hindi lang po yun ang magiging dahilan para magturo po tayo. And that principle was adopted by Merton in 1960. Kasing edad ko po, no? Hindi. Joke. Mga napili kong theories. Sabi niya, self-fulfilling prophecy focuses that if a teacher has high expectations of a learner and they are aware of this, they will perform at a level that matches those expectations. Conversely, if you have low expectations of a learner and they are aware of this, their performance will suffer. So, tingnan niyo po yung kanyang explanation. But teacher's belief, sabi niya, about his or her students will eventually be the teacher's actions towards her students. Eventually will affect the students' beliefs about their own capabilities. And students' actions in school and life and students' outcomes in school and life. Balikan po natin yung example kanina. How will you turn a coward into a hero? 'Di ba? Kung po nga paniniwala natin sa mga bata, mahina sila, wala silang galang, ganito sila, puro negative ang paniniwala. Kung yun po, very low, hindi mo kakayanin yan. 'Di ba? Yung mga ganong statements po na pang teleserye. Okay? Yung mga ganong statements na nagsa-challenge, baka hindi po naintindihan na bata na challenge lang yun. Baka yun po yung maramdaman niya na yun ang tingin mo sa kanya. So according to Merton, that self-fulfilling prophecy is actually very influential. Kaya nga pag si bata, di po ba, yung mga usual na kwento na nakikita natin, typical na kwento na pag na-late, minsan sasabihin ni teacher, although matagal ng kwento to, no? Hindi na nangyayari naman to sa kasalukuyan. Yung, kunwari, if you say, di ka papasa kahit anong gawin mo, di syempre yung paniniwala po ng bata sa sarili niya is magiging ganun siya. But if you do otherwise, conversely, baliktarin mo, sige, kaya mo yan. Dagdagan mo lang yung pagsisikap mo, dagdagan mo lang yung oras mo. Pag di mo naintindihan, i-chat mo lang ako. Pag ganito, ganyan, mahirap talaga ngayon, pero kakayanin natin. If that is what we believe about our students today, then even during this pandemic, I find a reason why they cannot succeed. It's a matter of believing, and it's a matter of doing things for them, such that they will eventually feel and embrace the fact that they can do it. Kasi po pag hindi, otherwise ang mangyayari po. So sa atin, ngayon, mahirap po. Mahirap siya, pero hindi siya imposible. Pwedeng hindi tayo laging masaya, pero hindi man po forever hindi laging masaya. Pwedeng mapapagod ka, pero pagtulog po natin, pagising natin, malakas na po tayo. Meaning, we will still be surrounded by a lot of challenges such that our beliefs may be affected negatively. But we can still have a choice to believe otherwise. Despite the insurmountable tasks and trials surrounding us, we still have a choice to believe in the power of the beauty of the learners. Kaya nila. Sabihin nga natin minsan nagbago na ba talaga ang mga estudyante natin? Matigas na ba ulo nila? Tamad na ba sila? Di ba nakakatawa pong ma-realize? Ako, one time nagre-reflect po ako, na-realize ko. Dati, lumalabas pa tayo sa eskwelahan, para tayong mga barangay tanod, hinahanap natin yung mga estudyante nating nasa mga computer shop. Kasi nag-computer sila. Isipin mo, mga decades ago, nagsimula na yan, no? Issue na yan sa atin. Pero ngayon, hinahanapan natin sila ng cellphone at saka ng laptop, desktop. Gusto nating ipabukas sa mga computer cafeteria or computer shops para may magamit sila sa pag-aaral. That's the irony of life. And I think somehow we have to embrace that talagang nasa atin paano natin titignan ang mga pagbabago sa buhay. So we remain to be positive with our beliefs and in our actions towards our students. Anyway, sabi nga, the test of truth in life is not whether we can remember what we learned in school, but whether we are prepared for change. Naalala ko syempre maraming theories pag nag-aaral ka, di ba? Pero one of our professors who happens to be my dissertation advisor, sabi niya, the true test, yun nga, ito mismo yun, parang siguro ito nabasa niya, parang sinasabi niya na ang totoong doctorate degree holder is not someone who is equipped with a lot of theories, but someone who's willing to embrace change. Totoo naman pala yun. Kaya ako palaging ko sinasabi sa graduate school program classes ko na pwedeng makalimutan yung mga theories na pinag-uusapan natin. Okay lang sa akin yan. Pero sana pagbalik niyo sa school niyo, kung saan man kayo nagtuturo, may mabago sa paniniwala niyo. Nagjo-joke nga po ako. Kung dati, rank 1 kang nagrereklamo pag may trabaho, pag naka-enroll ka sa isang graduate school program kung saan pinag-uusapan ang change, embracing change, sana rank 2 ka na lang. At least nagbago. And eventually, maging rank 3 ka na lang. And eventually, hindi ka na nagre-reklamo. Because that's embracing change. And changing attitude towards things. Becoming the better version of who you are. I think that is really true. Yun po talaga yung katotohanan. Kaya sa pagiging guro, lalo ngayon, papaano natin ituturo sa mga bata na ito na talaga ang katotohanan. Nasasagot talaga sila ng modules ng sila-sila lang. Na si mother, si father, or si ate lang ang mag-a-assist pag nasa bahay. Pwede lang i-chat si teacher or i-text si teacher dahil modular printed ang learning delivery modality. Na hindi mo makikita si teacher magtuturo online kasi hindi naman online distance learning ang pinili ng inyong delivery modality. So, yung mga ganong pagbabago, saan po ba nagsisimula at kanino? Well, of course, sa atin. How? How can we assist in change? How can we accept change? How can we teach our learners to accept change? By engaging to the new normal. Engagement. Let us engage ourselves in the new normal. Ano ba yung new normal? Eto na siya. Na si teacher, tsaka si bata, kung online sila, they will still do teaching learning process, virtually or online. Engaging oneself to the new normal. Sino magsisimula? Si teacher po. Of course, hindi naman perfect yung sistema natin. Alam ko naman po yun. At alam nating lahat yun. But, ang tanong lang doon is, sino unang tatanggap ng pagbabago sa edukasyon? Sino ba dapat ang maging inspirasyon ng mga bata, ng mga magulang, ng community sa pagbabago? Parang ang sagot natin, whether we accept it or not, tayo po. Tayong teachers. Dahil tayo po, ideally, technically, legally, spiritually, morally, ang dapat mas unang nakakaintindi ng pagbabago. Hindi lang pag-intindi, pag-accept ng pagbabago. Because if we do not do that, if we will not be engaging ourselves in the new normal, then change will not happen. And if change will not happen, if embracing the change will not happen, then how can we teach our learners to do that? And so, sabi nga po, we have to beat everything against all odds tayo. Po, di naman against all odds, against lang sa COVID-19 pandemic. That's accepting change. That's engagement. Another is, of course, we have to be resilient. Po, sabi nga, let us like be a bamboo that bends for it to be stronger than the oak that resists. It is the best time that we learn to bend a little, so we will not break. Wala naman, mamimili ka, magre-risk ka ba ng change? Or i-accept mo yung change so that you can adapt. Diba? Sabi nga, hindi na nga yung pinakamatalino. Diba? Sabi ni Charles Darwin, hindi ang pinakamatalino, pinakamalakas, o pinakasikat ang magsasurvive, kundi yung marunong mag-accept ng change, yung marunong sumabay sa pagbabago. Mahirap? Again, yes. Madali ba? Siyempre, mahirap. So, madali, hindi. Mahirap? Yes. Imposible ba? No. Hindi siya imposible. It's just really a matter of accepting that this is the reality. Kahit anong gawin po natin, sabi nga, let us try to live with the pandemic and go on with our life. So there are a lot of ways. So embrace change, be engaged in the new normal, be resilient. Because, again, we have to be adaptive. And what is the new adaptability? Sabi nga, if a child can't learn they learn. So, the different learning modalities, the LDM, through the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan was introduced. Alam ko po marami kayong kwento sa LDM Course 2 kung saan let's look for the appropriate ways in order to deliver again quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating education. So, eto po yung sagot. Different learning delivery modality. So, again, inaral na po namin yan sa school heads in July. And of course, kami po kasi will just part of the technical support or providing technical assistance. Sino po ang mag-i-implement? Of course, the teacher. Kaya nga, the number one factor in engagement is relevance. How can we be relevant? Ma'am, magre-retire na lang po ako kasi hindi ako marunong gumamit ng laptop. Ma'am, hindi po talaga ako marunong gumamit ng Google Meet, ma'am, and so on and so forth. But you see, sabi nga po ng marami, hindi natin hiningi ang ganitong sitwasyon. Walang humingi ng ganitong sitwasyon. Wala rin pong may gusto na ganito ang sistema natin. But, eto po yung totoo. Eto yung nangyayari ngayon. And so, ano pong gagawin natin? So, we have to be relevant. Paano? So, we have to resist negativity. We have to avoid resistance so that we can be relevant. Okay. So, if you happen to see this framework sa DepEd Order 50 Series 2020 or the professional development programs, actually this is the recognition and the validation of the professional development programs and courses for teachers and school heads. So ito yung framework na ginamit kung saan inalign po nila ang professional development programs ng teachers sa Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. Kung saan, ang tinuturo po, katulad ng nasabi ko doon sa amin sa LDM1 course, learning delivery modalities din po siya for school heads. And yung LDM course 2 is the learning modality for program or course for teachers. If you look at the framework, nasa dulo po, okay, lahat ng nakasulat dyan ng mga salita, ang end goal po niya is sulong edukalidad. Education continues. If you happen to watch po, our very own DepEd Secretary, nung sinabi niya na before August 24, di ba, nag-decide na sila, classes will open on August 24. Ang nasatandaan ko sinabi niya, we are all afraid of the virus. Of course, we are, okay, because we do not see the virus, and it's really a risk and a danger, causing danger to everyone. But we have to be brave and courageous so that we can still deliver education. Kaya nga doon po naisilang ang education continues. Itutuloy ang pag-aaral sa paraang kakayanin natin. Of course, the rest is history. So, umabot po tayo sa October 5. But nonetheless, dyan po nakaangkla yun. Saan tayo dyan, teachers? Sulong, edukalidad. Yan po yung banner statement ng ating edukasyon. Sample banner statement of DepEd. Although other learning institutions remain the same. Education continues. In fact, di po ba, ang mga private schools na una na silang nagbukas no, in August and some in September. So tayo, natuloy po tayo ng October 5. Sulong, edukalidad. How can we achieve the end goal of all these things? Sulong, edukalidad. Ang sabi po dyan is quality instructional delivery in the new normal. So we can only achieve sulong, edukalidad by ensuring that there is quality instructional delivery in the new normal. Oh, ngayon, when we talk of instructional delivery, quality, sino ba ang nagde-deliver ng quality instructional? Sino ba ang magde-deliver ng quality instruction in the new normal? Si school head ba? Si school head will provide support. Okay? The school head will do the planning together with other team members. Pero sino ang magfa-facilitate po ng quality instruction? Tayo po yun. Teachers po yun. Okay? So, ganun po, again, we go back to the very purpose of being a teacher. Tayo pala. Talaga. So, napakahalaga po ng role ng teacher. Sabi ko nga po, yung unang na-discuss na PDF, kahit nung panahon na wala pong COVID-19 virus, and ngayon na meron na tayo, nasa pandemic tayo, nasa national health emergency po tayo, our mission as teachers remain the same. Hindi po siya nagbabago. Nagbago lang po yung delivery modality. Pero the purpose of providing quality instruction remains the same. The mission of providing learning, of facilitating learning, remains the same. Di po ba? Ang ganda lang pong ma-realize na hindi naman nagbago. Nagbago lang ang panahon at paraan. Pero yung mission po natin bilang guro, hindi po siya nagbabago. And of course, other concepts like, of course, you have to improve readiness. Kaya nga po nagkaroon ng LDM courses, which I am sure you have wholeheartedly embrace the whole system kasi tinuro po doon, di ba? Although it's a short course, kung saan tinuro yung iba't ibang learning modalities appropriate that we can provide still quality teaching learning using any delivery modality that's appropriate to the learners based on the school context. Kaya nga po inalign siya sa basic education learning continuity plan. So again, teachers' mission remains the same even during this pandemic. So, tignan niyo po, ang dami naman talagang patunay na si teacher talaga ang major stakeholder na education. Okay? So, you look at the target clients and learning goals. Diba? Daming stakeholders dyan. May division and district supervisors who will provide technical assistance to teachers. Ang work nila is to support the schools and teachers in implementing and managing the learning delivery modality adapted in the school. Support, okay? The school head to smoothly implement and manage the learning delivery modality system in the division. And kung nasa division level siya. The household, ito po yun, the household and community partners to effectively support. So, again, si division, EPS, supervisors will just support. Si school head will just implement and manage the learning modality. Si household and community will support. Nasaan si teacher? Yun po siya. So, si teacher, ang role niya is to effectively implement the learning delivery modalities appropriate to the learner and the school context. Rest assured po that we will support you all throughout. Rest assured that we will manage the whole system. Pero again and again, sino mag-i-implement? Si teacher po. That says it all. That concretizes our claim that the teacher, even during these pandemic times, remains to be the major stakeholder in education. So, of course, di ba, during the Teacher's Day, meron pong, of course, the concept is I teach for a better future. For a better future. If we are aiming for a better future, we have to be better. If you are familiar with the Better School Framework, ang sinasabi po doon is synonymous to this. We can only have a better school if we have a better learner, if we have better teachers. To have a better learner is to have better teachers. And so to be better means not being awarded or commended, hindi lang po yun. Kundi, ano ba, paano ako magiging better? So we change. We embrace change. We become resilient. We become adaptive such that we can still provide um, quality teaching learning process. Ang saya lang, no, daming magagaling na guro talaga na nasa TV, mga TV presenters. I'm sure marami sa inyo na maraming kakilala na nasa TV na ngayon, artista sila, no? So, saya-saya lang. Hindi naman natin pinangarap na mangyari yan, pero kailangan na ngayon. At kahit kailangan kung hindi po natin gusto, hindi naman mangyayari. But because of their pure heart, their willing heart, andyan sila. Kasi alam nila that they can be of better service to their learners. So, yun po yung tinatawag nating, I teach for a better future. And you can only do that if we become better today, not tomorrow. We can only have a better future if we become better today. So, napakasaya lang po na ang daming teachers, maraming teachers, I'm sure, na very much willing to adapt to the new normal. So, yan, mga TV presenters, I'm sure libre lang yan, okay? They had trainings, I'm sure. Nakikita ko sa TV yung mga balita. Nagkaroon sila ng training sa mga experts in the field on how to be anchors. Kasi para sila mga journalists by nature, general speaking. Ano? So, they were trained. Pero madali pong i-train ang competence. Again, madali pong i-train ang competence. Madali pong ituro ang skill. Madali pong ituro ang isang theory. Madaling mag-memorize. Ang more challenging is to tame a heart. How to have a brave and a willing heart to accept the change and be adaptive to the new normal. Madali pong sabihin na basahin mo lang yan, matututunan mo. Buksan mo lang yung Google Meet or Zoom, i-guide kita, matututunan mo yon. Pero hindi po mangyayari lahat yon if we're not willing to learn. So I teach for a better future because I want to be better today in order to realize that better future for our students utilizing different learning modalities. So madami po yan, which iisa-isahin po natin. Ayan. Marami pong nakaka-relate sa atin yan. Okay, mga teachers, sabi nga, kung hindi pwedeng TV-based instruction or radio-based instruction, nasa ng iba. So, pwede siyang modular distance learning. So, modular distance learning can be printed or digital. Again, sino magpe-prepare ng modules? So, ang dami din po sa atin, no, sa mga teachers na very much willing to be module writers, to be module editors, to be script writers for TV, to be artists. Okay? So, ang dami po. And hindi pa tapos doon. Diba? Tapos na yung module na quality assured na, assuming na quality assured na. Ipiprint mo pa. Okay? Kaya dyan papasok ulit si teacher. Siguro ang itatanong nyo ba, ma'am, nakasulat po ba sa PDS na kami yung magpiprint ng modules? Okay, siguro sasagutin ko na po yun ngayon kung may nakakapag-isip na ng ganung tanong. Pwera po doon sa PDF or sa whatever performance rating or whatever set of duties, responsibilities that we have, na laging nakasulat po doon sa last numbers, that's related work. Ayaw ko pong gamitin yung lagi yung that's related work. Lagi ko pong sinasagot dyan is, when you truly care for your learners, hindi mo ka magbibilang kung gaano karami ang pagod na nagagawa mo for them. Lagi mong iisipin kung gagawin ko ba to, napapagod ako. Pero will I make a difference in the life of the learner? If the answer is yes, siguro hindi po natin itatanong kung may bayad po ba yun, ha? Kasama po ba yan sa RPMS rating? Kasama po ba yan sa IPCRF? Siguro alam ko hindi nyo itatanong yun kasi kung ang laman po ng puso natin is, if I do this without any compensation, di naman ako mawawalan, mapapagod lang ako. Makakatulong ba ako? So siguro yun po ang dahilan ng marami, halos ng teachers, lahat ng teachers actually, ng teachers na gumagawa ng ganyang trabaho katulad na nakikita niyo po. Yung iba diyan, siguro minsan sila pa yung personal na gumagastos kasi kaya naman nila. Willing silang mag-share. At pag na-print na siya, ihahatid mo pa. Pwede bang sabihin mo, hindi ko pwedeng ihatid yan, ma, kasi malayo yun. Pero hindi, di ba? We see all teachers doing their share. Again, we do not expect everyone doing the same thing. Nagkataon na itong nasa malayong lugar na maputik ang daan, yun ang mission niya. And we are so happy that there are people destined to be there. So tayo po na nasa mas magandang sitwasyon sa tingin natin, no? Sa tingin lang natin, mas magandang sitwasyon natin kasi naka-aircon yung pinagpipritan natin ng module, kahit tayo nagpiprint. Is that not a very beautiful reflection for us na at least ako, kahit nagpiprint ako mismo yung napapagod mag-print ng modules, naka-aircon ako. Naka-aircon kasi yung office na kung nasaan ang Riso machine or ang printer. Samantalang iba, hindi naman naka-aircon. Yung iba, ihahatid pa nila sa kung saang malayong lugar. We do not want to compare so that we see who is good, who is better, and who is best. Hindi po siya. We are just trying to share all these possible realities for us to feel that everyone is destined to be where we are today. Nagkataon dyan ka napunta and sharing your part is your best gift to the Lord and to the people who are serving. Hindi naman pwedeng lahat tayo nasa bundok. Hindi naman pwedeng lahat tayo nasa isla. Hindi rin naman lahat nasa magandang aircon na room. But despite these different situations and the circumstances that we are into, having that one sense of mission, we are able to finish the job. So sana yun din po ang maramdaman natin. We do not need to compare our situation. We just have to appreciate where we are today so that in doing this task, like for this specific thing, doing the printing, preparing, and delivering, distributing the modules, we find joy in doing this because we truly realize that this is where I am destined. And therefore, I have to do it with utmost joy, with utmost passion and commitment. Siguro, minsan nasasabi natin, at least ako, wala sa bundok. Pero hindi rin naman natin pwedeng sabihin yon kasi baka ang mga naka-assign sa bundok, mas masaya sila doon. So, we don't need comparisons. We only need realization so that we finally remember the fact that we are teachers and we will do everything so that we can be of help to the education system. And of course, ang isa pa sa mga challenges na nangingiti ako kasi challenge ko din po yan. Using the technology. Okay? So, pero again, sabi nga, technology is just a tool. Hindi yan kumakain ng tao. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. So, sana po sa atin na gumagamit ng social media, ng messenger or whatever social media or gumagamit ng whatever social platform, remember that that technology, that platform, that social media is just a tool. Higit sa nakikita ng bata, sana maramdaman niya that we are still there to motivate them. I remember during one of the orientations we conducted to parents prior to the opening of classes to August 24, ang isang tanong nila is, Ma'am, mag-online class po ba yung parent? Okay? Magpapakita po ba ng video si teacher? So, ang sinagot ko, sabi ko, since modular delivery modality tayo, hindi nyo sila ini-expect na magtuturo online. Pero sabi ko, if you're requesting a video, siguro for motivation, pwede naman. Pero, higit doon, ang mas mahalagang maintindihan dapat ng bata as yung namomotivate ba si bata sa presence ni teacher. Whether it's a 1 hour online discussion or just merely a 5 minute video presentation to do instructions. In fact, isa sa mga nasuggest ko lang naman po, um, pwede gawin ni teacher is when you do the instruction, sana video siya, short video. Kasi parang feeling ko lang naman, no, just a suggestion na mas ramdam ng bata nakakita yung teacher nagsasalita. If applicable. Kung hindi naman, then we use other technology. We use other strategies. Because again, technology is just a tool. Ang mas mahalaga dyan, kahit tinext mo lang yung bata, ramdam ba niya that you truly care, that you motivate the child. After almost a week, ito ngayon, 1 week, no? Ang dami na po nating kwento about the stories of the students, of our learners, with their adjustment period to the new normal. And we always go back to our mission, teacher. Paano natin i-address ang lahat ng yan? Sa dami ng challenges ng mga bata, how do we become more motivating? How do we become more inspiring to them? Yun po kasi yun eh. Kahit naman binigay mo na yung module, kung hindi nila ramdam na you are there kahit na uh, offline, then I think that is the more important thing. Maramdaman nila tayo. Sabi nga, 'di ba, our absence, if we would like our presence to be felt, more so of our absence. Mas gusto nating ramdam tayo kahit wala tayo. So parang ganun din po sa mga estudyante natin. Bilang guro, sana maramdaman nila tayo kahit di nila tayo nakikita ng madalas. Okay po? So, another thing of course is how do we make that reality? Paano natin ipo-provide yung safe learning environment, gender sensitive, etc. Okay, so marami daw ways, pero ang gusto ko lang emphasize dito is, sabi nga, the environment itself plays a significant role in their development. Nasa bahay si bata, tanong, wala ka doon, teacher. Yun nga ang sinasabi ko, ramdam ka ba niya? How are we going to ensure that we still provide this safe, gender-sensitive, happy, diba, learning environment for learning to happen para mas ma-motivate siyang magbasa, magsagot, mag-aral, and so on and so forth. So marami pong parang tips, no? Actually, when you look at the web, madami ka makikita. So, tignan natin, nakaka-relate ba tayo dito? So, here is a quick list of some suggestions and tips to help you out. Okay, one, of course, we create a list of guidelines that are lawful. Tayo po guided sa Data Privacy Act and sa Child Protection Policy. So, even if we utilize the social media sa virtual classroom, we still have rules, di po ba? So, dapat klaro po yun sa mga bata. We have to ensure that they remain to be safe, di ba? Ang daming batas na nagpo-protect sa kanila. So, tayo as teachers, I hope we become instruments of those many Department DepEd orders and Republic Acts and even yun, mga batas na nagpoprotekta sa ating mga estudyante. Okay? Of course, we stay calm in control always. Okay? Huwag po tayong patitinag sa mga reklamo, sa mga comments. Alam naman po nating lahat na yung mga kausap natin, mga bata. So, we find, of course, we look for ways in order to manage pressure using the online or offline classroom. Okay. Of course, we allow students to be openly expressive and encouraging to others. So kahit naman chat lang po yan or messenger or whatever text, we have to ensure that we allow them to be growing as well. Okay. Of course, with certain guidelines, which are very lawful. We learn to, kung ano yung ginagawa natin nung dati, na we have rules in communicating with them, similarly po sa atin ngayon. Okay? And tayo, napakahalaga, we keep a clean and orderly classroom. Ang saya lang, no? Nag-create tayo ng iba't ibang working site or classroom sa ating sariling pamamahay, lala, we are working from home. Po. Although we have alternative work arrangement, a lot of us work at home, di ba? So, ang saya lang, ako nakikita ko yung advantage parang nagkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon na makita yung magandang spot sa bahay natin para maging classroom. So, pag mag-go-online na, like ako, syempre titignan ko muna, like kanina, titignan ko muna kung ayos ba yung nasa likod ko, ano nakikita nila, hindi balang hindi nila ako masyado makita kung ano itsura ko, hindi, joke lang po. Dapat nakita nila is maayos ba? Diba? Kasi it reflects of a part of our personality, kung ano yung nasa likod mo. 'Di ba nakakatawa dati kung ano-ano yung nakikita natin. Pero ngayon we get to used to what is expected of us in conducting this virtual classrooms or virtual class. Of course, we practice useful failure and turn mistakes into learning opportunities. Kahit naman po nasa online tayo, we still have the moral obligation to correct mistakes. We will never allow to for mistakes to continue kahit hindi natin nakikita yung mga bata ng face to face. And model kindness every chance you get. Kindness. Okay? Kindness culture. Ang ganda nito. Magandang hashtag to. Kindness culture. So, sa panahong to na ang mga tao, mga estudyante natin, uh, nakakalungkot pero nagiging sense of inspiration sa atin yung pag may nakikita ka talaga na extremes minsan yung estudyante natin. May mga batang kaya-kayang bumili ng laptop, ng cellphone, pero talagang may bata na kahit cellphone number pa ng kapitbahay ang meron siya. 'Di ba? So parang uh, to me or to us, parang nakakaiyak siya, pero dapat yung iyak na yun, nagiging source of inspiration for us to do things for them. Sana hindi lang tayo naawa. We really have to do something for them. And of course, we use good judgment kung sino ba tutulungan at saka hindi. But as a different story naman kung lahat naman na hindi deserving, we also help. Of course, we do not do that. And we feel free to laugh with their students and be vulnerable. Dapat masaya lang. Okay? Para lang nasa classroom. Lalo na kung bombarded sila sa maraming ginagawa, so kailangan talaga maano sila, ma-relax din. Okay? And of course, we give kids choices on how they can do assignments. So ngayon, we can make some modifications, adjustments, sa kung ano ang makikita nating needs that will arise as we go through the opening of classes. So we provide, of course, guidance services. We provide guidance services. So parang nag-extend ako ng oras. So bilis na lang to. So guidance services, we do all these things. We do career and placement, counseling, admission, information na online. Yun ang maganda. We learn to have the citizens charter, gano'n. Of course, we do assessment. Sabi nga, learners need endless feedback more than they need endless teaching. So we have to provide them how far they have gone through, how well they are in doing the activity, and so on and so forth. And in developing these things, ito lang yung mga skills na inaasahan po natin tayo mismo guro ang maituro natin. Okay, ability to collaborate with others. The ability to read and understand. So wala naman pong bago dyan. Problem-solving ability, global awareness, research skills, media literacy, interpersonal skills. So lahat po yan, inaasahan pa rin and more. So for them to become, again, 21st century learners. At the end of the day, the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it. Sabi nga po, move with it and join the dance. Kailangan po nating isayaw kung ano yung tugtog. Kung hindi, magiging malungkot po tayo. Pag naging malungkot tayo, magiging malungkot lang din po yung mga estudyante natin. So in order to overcome the challenges in the new normal, let me share with you the three U's that I have shared during our LDM course. Sabi ko nga, if we would like to become the better version of who we are during this pandemic, let us try to improve technical skills and acquire new concepts and strengthen our commitment that we can still go through all these challenges, that we can still be facilitators of learning at our very best. They are not just steps, but it's a cycle, such as in the long run, we embrace continuous learning. Because, again, as teachers, we support all, as in all, teachers to have their self esteem and be resilient in the new normal. At the end of the day, our school, online or offline, must be a home for our learners, where teachers are parents. Again, whether online or offline, let us make our schools a home for our learners. And we can only do that through our teachers. For I hope you can reflect on this as we end the session, that one book, one pen, one child, one teacher can change the world. I hope we truly embrace it, and I know we can do this. So with that, I would like to end this presentation with the sharing of yours of our hashtags, the teacher in the new normal. So again, life will never be perfect. The education system that we have will never be perfect. Our leaders will not be perfect. But as adaptive, resilient teachers, let us continue to have that happy spirit within us. Let us continue to nurture the joy in our hearts amidst the many tasks and trials that we have to face. So I hope we continue to catch happy people, that we continue to catch inspired people, because at the end of the day, our mission is to let others shine. Sabi nga po, let us choose to shine. Because in shining, some others will need your light. You have to shed light to our learners. So choose to shine, to shine. And at the end of it, choose to be remarkable. Remarkable does not mean being commended, does not mean winning. To be remarkable is living out the very purpose, our very mission. And that is to facilitate learning and nurture every learner. With that, God bless po. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Any last reminders to our viewers for today po?
Thank you so much to Vibal family. It's such a beautiful journey. It's my first time history in my life. So uh, I'm just so grateful to the Lord and to you and to everyone who did share their time. Uh, May the good Lord continue to bless you. Let us continue to be teachers. Let us continue to be nurturers of the future generation. We may not be perfect, but God will always be with us in doing our task. God bless everyone, and thank you so much.
There we have it. In behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank our speaker for today for this very eye-opening and insightful learning session. It is an honor to have you with us today, ma'am. And to all our Kavibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. Don't forget to register to get your e-certificate of participation. We also encourage you to subscribe and watch on our official Vibal Facebook and YouTube channel. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang araw sa ating lahat.